Conservative leader Andrew Scheer is concerned about China's ban on Canadian canola products. He says Prime Minister Trudeau has done little to address the dispute.
An Alberta canola farmer recently told the Agriculture Committee that he's already lost $50,000 since March and that he could potentially lose $100,000 or more if the Chinese blockade continues. The same goes for farmers in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Producers and provincial leaders have been pleading with the Liberal government here in Ottawa to do something to help, and since then, this government hasn't lifted a finger. Last week, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe made his frustration with Justin Trudeau known to all Canadians in an open letter to Mr. Trudeau.
Joining me now with more is the host of Power Play, Don Martin. He's in Ottawa this morning. Don, good morning. What was Andrew Scheer proposing on the issue of canola? How does he think this situation should be dealt with?
Yeah, there's certainly some pressure being applied on the Trudeau government from the premiers, particularly Saskatchewan's, to get moving on trying to unblock the blockade that canola has faced when it comes into exports into China. Scheer's shopping list is small, but not inconsequential. He says, first of all, let's get an ambassador to China appointed. It's been a long time since John McCallum left that post. Still no sign that a new ambassador is going to be in place, but certainly starting to appeal these trade embargoes, which clearly everyone seems to think that this is all a made-up excuse, that these exports are contaminated with organisms that shouldn't be there. That's clearly a diplomatic ploy to try and put pressure on Canada dealing with the Huawei situation. So they're saying, to appeal it to the World Trade Organizations to try and get this thing done, plus cut off some investment that Canada does in Canada-China relations, investment relations, because what's the point when you're running into these kinds of roadblocks? So it's an interesting list. I'm not sure what it'll do, but he's putting something forward, and that's just an idea taking a shot at Justin Trudeau, because clearly Trudeau is under pressure to do something faster.
And you mentioned the fact that we don't have an ambassador. Why is that search taking so long?
I have no idea, Marcia, to be honest with you. These things, I mean, it was a surprise resignation by some ill-timed comments that McKenna made on the Huawei situation. Wan Zhou out in Vancouver that's been detained, waiting an extradition. He made some pointed observations about this being a political rather than a diplomatic issue. That cost him his job, but that was, good grief, that's been 5-6 months now. So it's time to get this thing back on track, and yet there doesn't seem to be anyone moving in. We have an acting ambassador, but not a full-fledged one.
Okay, Don Martin for us. Don, thanks. We'll talk to you later.